So I'm sure you all noticed all the readings today feature the devil and the more powerful God, or Jesus. And in all cases, the devil's pretty crafty and has tempting things to say, but sometimes in his temptation and falsehood, there's also wisdom. And I'll just jump right to the takeaway right now. In Genesis, when the devil promises that we can be more like God, it's not entirely deceitful. Because in one way, since then, we do have extra power, extra knowing, just like the devil said. And keep in mind, God knew all this was going to happen before it happened. If you wonder about that, you think God is, oh, darn, they ate of the fruit. I didn't know that was going to happen. Yes, God did. God does, you don't need spoiler alerts. He already knows. And here's something we can know also like God. God knows victory will always be God. Victory is always God's. And we can also, like God, proclaim that. As we proclaim it, let's remember that that victory is not that we murder Satan and make Satan go away and go back to the days where we can wander the garden naked, unawares. That's not coming. We're going to be clothed the whole way. But with it comes that sort of godlike quality and the godlike power. And this is the lesson for today. The godlike, this is going in and out, right?
Yes.
I will make a minute. Or will I? We have the godlike power that we can always say, "Get behind me, Satan." Or depending on the translation, "Get away, Satan, go away." But Satan will always come back, as the gospel says, at an opportune time. God knows Satan's going to come back. God's going to have Satan convince Judas to sell Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus will be crucified as an act of Satan, and victory will still be God's. That's why we're here. And we, all of us, will have our crosses. We, all of us, will have temptation. And we, all of us, can say, "Get behind me, Satan. I'm going with the more powerful God, and victory is mine. God, you are mighty to save. Victory is mine." Now, here's the hard part. There's always the sermon challenge. How many know the song, "Victory is Mine"? How many people belong to a church from 2012 to 2017 that had 30,000 African American members and sang in the choir? Here's an easier one. Get the bar lower. How many saw the movie The Help? All you hands, you have heard "Victory is Mine." I dare to do this because the presiding bishop I've seen preach a number of times. In fact, I was kind of a Michael Curry groupie, if you'll receive that confession. And on more than one occasion, right in the middle of the sermon, he'd break into "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it," and the whole congregation would be singing. But he is African American, but he's singing the whitest hymn ever written, by a white man from Kalamazoo, Michigan, the whitest city in history. And that's "This Little Light of Mine." So we're going to raise the bar again. And I, a white man, am going to teach you "Victory is Mine." And just, by the way, remember, you don't have to know how to sing to participate. I want tone-deaf people to be as welcome as the most skilled, like our own Father Rick O'Brien. Sings like an angel, Paul McCartney among us. It goes like this. Victory is mine, victory is mine, victory today is mine. I told Satan, "Get thee behind, Victory today is mine. Come on. Victory is mine. Oh, victory is mine. Victory today is mine. The old free dual harmonies. I told Satan, get thee behind. Victory today is mine. Oh my goodness. That just went a million times better than I ever dreamt. Isn't God so incredibly good? I'm going off mic for the next. Joy today is mine. Joy today is mine. Joy today is mine. I told Satan, get thee behind. Joy today is mine. Oh, that's beautiful. Now hold that. We're coming back. We got to do a little primer on evil. It's so easy to start making it bigger than it is. And I promised myself 30 years ago I'd never mention C.S. Lewis, never mention C.S. Lewis in a sermon. Oh no, I just blew it. One of his theologies I absolutely loved was on the devil and on evil. And he said a real via media, really Anglican, Episcopal friendly thing was, we sin when we make Satan too big or too small. How's that for the middle road? And he is so right. If we make Satan too big, we disempower God and ourselves, which is a huge lose-lose. It's also just inaccurate. And if we make Satan too small, we might not actually be defending ourselves when we need to. How many people do we know that always just say, oh, everything will work out, or he didn't mean that, she didn't mean that, oh, my boss isn't so bad. Yeah, your boss is. Sometimes, admit it. Sometimes we are all in the agency of the tempter. And if we deny that possibility, we actually make Satan more powerful. And suddenly God is not mighty to save. So we want to get that just right. We want to acknowledge the Satan that's very much like the one in the reading today from Matthew. Clever enough to come to us when we're hungry, tired, and lonely. Yes? Yes. Didn't come at the first day, he came at the 40th. That's a smart Satan. Then he's articulate. He speaks to Jesus on Jesus' level. And because he knows Jesus is a human, he appeals to his human need. In this case, the most obvious one, he's hungry. That is a real temptation. The other thing is our very literate and educated and, let's face it, ingenious Jesus knows the Psalms well. Ah, so does Satan. He quotes Scripture. This is not to be kept small. Remember, Satan is smart enough to quote the Bible. And remember, not every time you hear somebody quoting the Bible are they necessarily reaching to you in love. I bet we know that already, don't we? How many times have we heard the Bible quoted as a way to exclude or diminish some other group or person? That's kind of the same thing. So let's keep Satan the right size and know that Satan, working through our agency, and I do mean our, he'll use me today and this week and this month, to always call God in to those moments when Satan is being Satan's most clever. The one phrase, depending on the translation, Jesus either says, get away, or he says, get behind me. We also know he says the same thing to Peter. When Peter is acting as Satan's agent, doesn't mean Peter's a bad guy. He's the rock of the church. It's to make the point we all will act in Satan's agency, and we need to guard against it. And when we notice that we are straying, we're quoting the Bible for ill purpose. When we're preying on the weakness of others, saying that person's hungry, I can manipulate them. When when we sense ourselves going to that place, that is the time to say, oh, get behind me, Satan. Knowing we're not squashing Satan, we need Satan around to keep things moving forward. We say, get behind me, and in so doing, we say, God is mighty to save. God is huge. We are saying, victory today is mine. And yes, we're going to go out on that. Ready? Choir? Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told Satan, get behind. Victory today is mine. And it is ours today. Amen.